SiriusXM. Hope, good morning to you.
Good morning, Tim. How are you today?
I am doing well. How about you?
I am doing well as well. That's a lot of well there, but you know what? I'm happy. Summer is on the horizon. We've been teased a little bit in Wisconsin for the last 2 weeks. It's been like 70, but now reality's back again and it's only 50, but I'll take what I can get.
That's right. At least it's above freezing, right?
Amen to that.
Before we delve into our topic this morning, Hope, we've been talking about old sayings that have that are fading away now because the younger generations are not the younger generation rather is not exposed to it like people in my generation were. So, are there any old sayings that you remembered growing up with that you don't hear anymore?
Oh, my grandma used to always say, "Don't throw the baby out with the bathwater."
I was just mentioning that as well. My grandmother used to use that phrase, that saying all the time.
I love it. Yeah, there's a lot of just like little different things from older generations that are dying out. That it's kind of like nostalgic. It's sad because those are just like things that are staples from our lives growing up.
Yeah, absolutely. I miss them. I really do. There was a lot of wisdom behind those sayings, weren't there?
Amen to that, yes.
Yeah. Well, getting into our topic this morning, how to take care of yourself for the summer. So let's hear it there, Hope.
Yeah, well, I thought, this is, times are changing, the weather is changing, and at least here in the Midwest, it can come abruptly. And it can hit you, and you can find yourself maybe not feeling your best for a few weeks or a few days, depending on what's going on. And so practicing good self-care as we transition into warmer, more humid months can be really important for anybody, trucker or not. And so the first thing we want to think about is remembering that our body is approximately 60% water. And so that means we have to stay hydrated. We talk about this a lot. Obviously, a lot of people know this is an obvious thing, but for a truck driver, it's important to remember that drinking water, isn't the only way that you can hydrate yourself. There are a lot of foods that are high water content, and when you consume them, they do count towards your water consumption, towards hydrating the body. Things like cucumbers, things like watermelon, strawberries, celery, even eating lettuce. Yes, that salad counts towards good hydration. Tomatoes, pretty much all the citrus foods, even drinking things like coconut water is going to be like turbo hydration. And I see that a lot at truck stops now, which is fantastic. And so to really trying to just tune in to, am I getting enough water? But more importantly, am I hydrated? I really like using that water, especially when I work with drivers, because sometimes they hear the word water and immediately they're like, oh, I can't drink too much water, or I'll have to stop and go to the bathroom. But really what we're focusing on is hydrating the cells, hydrating the body, even hydrating the brain, which is something I don't think we talk about enough, because our brain and our heart are like roughly 75-ish% water, and just mild dehydration can cause things like brain fog, poor decision making, delayed reaction time, heart palpitations. And so it's really important to be tuning into your body during these summer months. And if you're somebody that's driving between climates, that can hit you. That can all of a sudden just be like, whoa, I'm not used to this. And then all of a sudden we're not feeling our best. So when you can't drink a lot of water, but you have the opportunity to grab some of these higher hydration kind of focused foods, you're going to be able to get the most bang for your buck. But nice little pro tip, when you are drinking water, add a little pinch of sea salt to the water, not table salt. And that's going to just add more hydration. Your cells are going to attach to that water and penetrate the cell more. And so you're going to be able to get more bang for your buck when you're drinking water versus just drinking plain old water. But look for those hydrating foods during the summer months, and you are going to feel great.
That's something that we really don't think about. I mean, when you mention hydrate, first thing you think about is drinking water, but you don't really think about the foods that has water in it as well.
Absolutely. Well, fun fact too, like eating celery. Celery sticks, travel well, so you could cut them up and put them in some little Ziploc baggies, and they're going to stay for a while, whether they're in the fridge or out of the fridge. You're going to get a couple of days out of the fridge out of them. But they have natural sodium and potassium, so they actually have natural electrolytes. So for the summer months, you need those electrolytes because when you're sweating, you're getting rid of those electrolytes, which are going to help you feel good and not feel fatigued or tired, help you have good mental focus and clarity. So eating something like celery is going to kind of give you a little double dose there. Same thing with citrus foods like oranges, grapefruits, things like that. They have tons of vitamin C. And that's also going to be essential for energy and mental clarity. So a lot of these foods that we're consuming, when we're consuming smart, are also going to help us, I guess you could call it like double dip, give us the vitamins and the minerals that we need, but also hydrate us when maybe we can't be drinking water as much as we want to. And a lot of people forget that. So eat your water. Eat your water, my friends. That is another option other than just drinking.
Absolutely. 615-292-6366. And as I mentioned earlier, you can email me at tim@radionemo.com. Do have an email for you, and I'll get this out, and then you can address it on the other side. He says, "Good morning, Hope. Thank you for keeping us healthy and keeping us going. I eat a lot of grapes during the day while I'm driving and wondering if there's any hydration in that." So we'll get the answer to that on the other side of these messages. Hope is with us. This is Tim Ridley on SiriusXM. What about grapes? What's the water content in that? Is that a way to hydrate as well?
Yes, grapes, I believe, are, over 75% water. They are high water, which is great for the summer months, great to keep you hydrated. And the cool thing about grapes is although they have natural sugar, they give you a quick energy boost without the crash. So if you're eating like Skittles or something like that, you're going to get that moderate or temporary high, but then you're going to feel that little bit of low afterwards, kind of like caffeine. But grapes don't do that to you, which is kind of cool. So nature's candy, sometimes they're called. And if you're at home, I suggest popping them in the freezer. Oh, they're awesome frozen. I think they're great, especially the green ones frozen. So there's my little tip for you guys today. But also grapes are great because grapes help lower blood pressure and I believe cholesterol, low, like LDL, if I'm not mistaken. So they're awesome for people that are dealing with things like that. They're good for digestion. They do have fiber, which is kind of cool. Same thing with some citrus fruits. So a little bonus there, not a lot of people talk about. So I'm a big fan. I think grapes are a great healthy snack. Some people will say, oh, what about being diabetic? Dude, you're eating grapes versus a bag of Skittles. I think the natural fruit is always going to win over the synthetic or the candy. So good for you. Keep reaching for those healthy foods. And if you can, expand that variety even more, and you are going to be one of those healthy drivers on the road. So good for you. Thank you.
All right. I have another one that came in over the break, and she wants to know if the Dole water flavoring packets, are they good for you or bad for you to add to your water?
Yeah, great question. I'm not particularly sure about the Dole ones. I'd have to see the back. So my rule of thumb, whenever I'm adding things to my water or I'm encouraging people to drink water, is make sure you read the back label. I'm not so much interested in the nutrition panel, although look at the sugar content. A lot of those sneak sugar in. I'll use an example. There's Gatorade ones that you can pick, and there's two different kinds. One has like 12 grams of sugar and one has no sugar. And so make sure you look at the back of those panels and check, because you could just be consuming more sugar than that bag of Skittles we were just talking about. But the other thing, you want to look at the ingredients. Some of them are cleaner than others. Some of them have like artificial sugars in there, like aspartame, which is not good for your brain or your heart health. And so the minimalist amount of ingredients is always going to be the best, and really watching for ones that have as little of sugar as possible. The cool thing now is there's such a variety of them out there that you can go to Walmart, and I'm just using Walmart as an example because there's a lot of them. There's a half an aisle full of them. So take a little bit of time, flip over the box, and try a couple different flavors, and I'm sure you're going to find some that you love.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, what are some of the other things that we can do to prepare our bodies and take care of ourselves during the summer?
Yeah, let's talk a little bit about the sun. I don't think we always think about that necessarily. I know in Wisconsin here, in the Midwest, because we don't get sun throughout the year very much, we get maybe like 3 days of sun, while Denver gets, 208 days of sun. But it's still, even when it's cloudy, that sun is so important because of vitamin D. We need that vitamin D production to help with our things like immune system, mood, bones, even hormone health, which is something we don't always think about. But vitamin D plays a big role in that. And if we can get natural vitamin D through the sun, that's always going to be best. So we want to think about a couple of things when it comes to the sun. One, we want about 10 to 30 minutes at prime time. So when the sun is at its best is usually like first light. That's going to be like the best time to get that vitamin D. So if you're an early riser and you're out and about before you set out on the road, that's a great time to get out in the sun. It's going to help with mood. It's going to help with energy. It's going to help with vitamin D production. And all you're really looking for is like 10 to 30 minutes at that time. That's going to be best for vitamin D production. But also we want to think about with with the sun is that we don't think about this often, Tim, but in a truck or in a car, that window film that we can put on our windows for UV blocking can really help us during the summer months. I have heard of drivers, getting things like skin cancer on the left side of their body because they're more exposed to the sun on that side for long, extended periods of time. Obviously, too much of anything is not always great. And so that UV blocking window film is really cool. It's a great investment. Those are things to think about. And then also with the sun, we want to think about what we're putting on our skin. I'm a big fan of mineral sunscreens. Whatever you're putting on your body, you're baking into your body when you're in the sun. And so mineral sunscreen. So we're looking for things like zinc oxide, or titanium, and those are going to be great ones. Titanium dioxide, those are going to be great. Those are natural sunscreens. Those are going to be what you're looking for, and they pretty much sell everywhere now. You can go to CVS, you can go to any major store, and they're going to be selling those mineral-based sunscreens now, and it's just going to be healthier for your body overall. But also remembering, too, in the sun, in the summer months, especially changing altitudes, changing climates like drivers often do, is you're going to experience dehydration. So going back to what we talked about before, making sure when you have the sun, we want to add in hydration so that we're not experiencing water loss. A lot of people I talk to, driver or not, some of the symptoms that they experience in the summer months and even not are often dehydration related. So brain fog, muscle cramping, even stiffness in the body, calf cramps, struggling sleeping at night, dizziness, sometimes eye blurriness. That can all be symptoms of dehydration or too much sun. And so we now have some tools in our toolbox that we can do to kind of combat against that so that we can still go out and enjoy, some of the most beautiful times of the year when that sun is out. So just always think a little bit ahead of time, what do I need for my body? Grab that mineral-based sunscreen, think about long sleeve shirts, think about, do I have my hydrating foods for the day? And you're going to be good to go.
And you mentioned long sleeve shirts. Even if a driver is at home during home time mowing the lawn, it's good to. And I didn't do that as well. I didn't even think about doing that, in the past. But having a long sleeve shirt while you're out there working in the yard is very beneficial too, isn't it?
Absolutely. It's funny. I was talking with someone, I was just traveling and we were talking about different regions of North America and how a lot of people that come up from Mexico, you see them fully covered head to toe. They got their big brim hat, their long sleeve shirt, their pants on all day long, and they're trying to protect themselves from the sun. And so they know something. So that's definitely, take a tip from somebody that lives a little bit closer to the sun and the equator. They might know
That's
something,
right.
but that's really going to protect you, keep you cool, keep you healthy, keep you happy. We're looking to try to reduce the UVA, UVC rays. We're looking to limit those UVB rays. That's why first light of the day is going to be the best time to get in the sunlight for 15 to 30 minutes without the negative effects of the sun. So remember, again, anything in high doses, it doesn't matter what you're talking about, is not always going to be great for the body, and the sun is one of those things.
Well, what should we think about next? So we got the hydration, the hydrate, and then we have the sun. So what would be next, Hope?
Yeah, let's just see if we can throw a couple in here before we leave today. One of the things I love is taking breaks in nature. So the summer is a great time for you to get outside, stretch your legs, breathe in that healthy dose of oxygen so you can boost things like serotonin and dopamine and oxytocin, which happens almost immediately when we start exercising or moving our body, but it doubles when we're out in nature. Because being around trees and flowers, those are highly oxygenated, so we're taking that in, but it's also mood boosting because we're in a beautiful space that can calm us. It's away from stress. It's away from our daily grind. And so I know it's tempting when we're parked for the night to just kind of curl up in our cabs and say, all right, I'm done. But just take a quick peek. Is there a place where maybe you can walk? I might not be perfect and ideal, but maybe it's something to change the scenery. Maybe there is a little trail nearby, or maybe you can park somewhere different today for a little bit of research. You find somewhere where there is a walking trail or there is a nature path that you can take advantage of. Just that little separation from the daily grind can do you so good mentally, physically, emotionally. And so really want to encourage everybody listening to take those nature breaks so that you can boost mood and refresh mental energy and just really feel good overall. The next one I want to talk about is what I call the windshield meditation. So sometimes, Tim, when people hear the word meditation, they go, oh, I don't want to do that. I don't have the time for that, or I got to practice first, which is always kind of funny to me. But the windshield meditation is just you simply when you're driving or even when you're parked, looking out the windshield and really being present for 60 seconds. Just start small. Really being present with your awareness of what's going on around you and kind of how you feel in that moment. And so if you're driving today, set your alarm for 60 seconds and say, for 60 seconds, the radio is going to be off, and I'm going to be super alert and aware to the car in front of me, to, the trees passing by, to how my seat feels against my back. I'm just going to stay in the moment as much as possible. And then after that 60 seconds, hopefully what you've experienced is a separation from the stress, the daily grind, whatever was kind of lingering in your mind for the last day or week or month or however long. You're creating that mental space, which is going to help you enjoy these beautiful months that are coming up ahead, and that we can really step into the rest of our day fresh, clear, focused. And remember, whenever we take time for a little bit of meditation, we are going to boost mood. We are going to refocus ourselves. We are going to enhance concentration, which is going to be absolutely critical for someone like a truck driver.
It does the body, mind, and soul some good, doesn't it?
It does. Amen.
Well, Hope, tell our listeners how they can get a hold of you and learn more about what you have to offer.
Absolutely. You can find us over at mothertruckeryoga.com. If you like what we're talking about, you want to get your body moving a little bit more, you can check out our book, Trucking Yoga, Simple Fitness for the Long Haul, on our website, on Amazon. And it's just a great little pocket guide to help you stay fit wherever you are. Goodbye, my friends.